And in order to update that, I need a world. And in order to get a world, we have to generate one. I mean, for me, it doesn't settle issues necessarily. It certainly settles the popular issues. There's some things that Tarn changed that I dislike, like removing stress from migrants that come from old forts. It's like, is it a fix? Yes. Although now I'm wondering, if you send a dwarf away to a Helix and invite them back, do they have no stress? Because that might be a big ol' exploit right there. Someone needs to try doing that. Get a stressed out dwarf, send them off to a Helix, and then invite them back. And see if they have no stress. Someone has to try that. But anyway, like that's a change that I'm not super fond of. Like, I get the reasoning behind it, is that it makes starting a new fort after having a really tantrumy fort kind of a problem. Well, what cures stress better than a nice vacation? Are you fucking kidding me? After a vacation, I need a vacation for my vacation. Yeah. Yeah, no, it surprises me that he took such a drastic route with it. It really does. So I don't know. I don't know if it necessarily solves outstanding issue. You vacation incorrectly. I've legitimately never had a vacation where I don't need a vacation after my vacation. Unless it's a staycation where I don't actually leave my house. So the only vacations I've ever actually felt rested from was when I just stay at home for a week and do nothing. Those are literally the only vacations I've ever actually felt rested from. Any vacation where I travel or do anything, I come back more tired than I was when I left. Every single time. Without fail. Definitely clearer head-wise, but more tired than I was when I left. So, I don't know. Maybe I vacation incorrectly or I can't vacation. Because I'm always worse off when I get back. But, let's just create a new world, shall we? What do you guys think? I mean, me vacationing at home, I order in takeout, I go get food, and I cook a lot. Generally. Although, I always feel more satisfied when I make the food myself, so. How long should we do the history here? Wait, how are you trying to backseat? I'm confused. We should be generating the world so that we can talk. Is that what you count as backseating? We'll just do high civs. Let's do very high sites. I mean, do we want to generate world for fucking 4 hours? I don't know about that. Well, if you need help, ask questions. Someone in chat can help you if I can't. Or we can direct you towards things that'll let you help, or that'll help you, naturally. We're gonna set mineral occurrence to rare, because I like rare minerals. High or very high savagery? What are we thinking? Why would I set beasts to low? Beasts are fun. The hell? The hell? We want more forgotten beasts and more big land titans. Sheesh. You read the wiki a lot? I mean, that's the right thing to do. But there is no such thing as a dumb DF question. Pausing immediately when we start. The dimension of oracles. Well, I see Europe and North America. That's very separated, but there is that one big, nice continent. I don't like it. It's too separated. This is still going to take forever, by the way. The wondrous planet. And hello, Bog 2. Omega Savage, obviously. That's maybe even more split than previously. It's gonna take me a little bit after causing several apocalypses. It was surprisingly like it, but I kind of want the majority of it to be one giant continent. You mean Aussie because they like they melded into one. That's taken forever to form all those lakes. The future planets. That would be oddly fitting. We create gods. It is kind of weird when you actually think about generating these worlds because they're so believable and rich, and you're just like, yeah, I don't like the layout. It's forming lakes and rivers. 17 rejects. Damn. "17 rejects. So out of curiosity, Anarcho, I saw that you were lurking a little bit earlier. How did you find the stream, out of curiosity? That's like 2 giant continents? 2 mega continents with a little bit in the middle? It's pretty interconnected. It's a nice big evil biome up top here. Oh, just straight up from Twitch then. Gotcha. Well, welcome. Well, yeah, we stream a lot of DF here. A lot of DF. But today's just going to be World Genning and Legends, probably. Got, as in Game of Thrones, Freeways? How does anyone find DF? An angry man threatens you until you learn how to play it? You're not suggesting I'm the angry man, are you? A demon shows up in your dreams and yells at you until you learn how to play Dwarf Fortress. I don't know. Even when I'm angry, I'm not that angry. I feel like I give off a bad vibe to some people, and I'm very sorry about that because it's not my intention. Not today. Also, I'm totally not going to actually let this run all the way through. Probably go about 300 years. Okay, that's a weird generation. That's a big fucking continent, though. Y'all are hurting my self-esteem, chat. Nah. First, the internet tells me that I have a resting bitch face, and now I'm an angry man. Which is funny, because the most common bit of feedback I get about the stream is how relaxing it is. I'm getting mixed reports here, guys. I kind of like these mountain ranges up north. I mean, if I was that much of an asshole, nobody would watch me, right? Ah, damn it. I kind of thought this was connected here. It's connected down here, though. It's openings for more bridge forts, I see. Few people the other day. Did you read the patch notes? Because if you read the patch notes, you would have seen the same thing that I saw, which seems to read no. I do see a volcano in the middle of a jungle, though. That could be fun. No. Did you not? No, clearly nobody here read the patch notes. Okay. Supposedly, according to the patch notes anyway. That's not the case. What do you guys think of this biome? Or of this world map? It's probably just rarer. Alright, well none of y'all read the patch notes, so then I won't answer your damn question. Go read the patch notes if you want to find out. Oh, I zoomed out too much. I mean, that's the proper way to find out. Let's go to bay12games.com/dwarves. It depends on how long it takes me to read the legends. But today is mostly going to be a world building day, probably. And you thought, great. And after your horse died? Well, I mean, dwarves are probably starving because you need to gather stuff from the outside. Yeah, I really like the northern part. I really like those mountain ranges. Especially like this northern forest up here. This whole area. Like, none of it's been named and none of the factions have spawned, but like, look at all this. This looks so cool. I love this layout. Same with like, where is it? This mountain range. This big kind of swath, just like with the big old valley in the middle. That's kind of barren with a few lakes. Some cool stuff could happen over here. Plenty of really cold northern tundra areas too. This area is going to get kind of secluded. Probably going to have a massive population of kobolds or something. Big old desert down here. Well, we haven't fully formed all the lakes yet. Yeah, let's let this one continue. The Realm of Cyclones. Oman Zurko. Let's let it finish forming the lakes and rivers. It's got a lot of lakes and rivers to form. Gotta stretch. And pour more coffee. Placing other beasts. Other beasts. A time to sit down with a cup of coffee and watch a world get born. I think that's a good swamp, a good marshy swamp. That big chunk of blue over there next to the ocean on the right. I think that is a good swamp. Saltwater marsh, I think. They look really pretty, and they often have very fun things going on in them. So I think we're going to aim for about 250 years. Unless world generation takes too fucking long. The Strangled Jungle. Yeah, do we want to look at any location names? So before I actually, or once I start doing Legends, one of the first things I'm going to do is chuck this realm up onto the Google Drive before I do anything. Or actually, I'm just going to go into my drive and make a season 2. So if you guys want to mess around with this world in this version of the game, you can do that. New folder. Day. Forts. Season 2. Actually, not. I'll put it in the Day Forts folder. Move all of those into Season 1. Just gotta update a link now. Anyone with this link can view. Copy link. It does sound like hurricane season. It's a pity that there's no storm fronts in DF. I've always been kind of sad about that. There we go. So this will get chucked into a different folder called Day Forts Season 2, which I will make public as soon as we're done with this. You're low-key waiting for the next Warframe big update? I mean, this isn't really what I would describe as a big DF update or anything. It's more of a balanced set of balance changes. I've certainly had giant alligators early on that just insta-murder all my dwarves. They promised they had some interesting gameplay. They added spaceships recently. Like, what more do you want? What more do you want, man? Or are you already bored of the spaceships? Oh, so you can No Man's Sky it? Is that what you're saying? That's actually kind of cool. Any update is a big update for DF? True. Yeah. I mean, it's funny, like, the difference between Dwarf Fortress and, like, normal game development. Normal game development, like, Dyson Sphere program, the game that all my friends are playing right now, pulls multiple updates a day of a couple of megabytes. Dwarf Fortress update every, like, year to a year and a half. I'm curious about if that's going to change much though with the Steam version. Kind of don't think so, but who knows? Who knows? But yeah, chat, how do you guys feel about doing today as mostly a world building day and then tomorrow doing a bonus day fort day and actually spending a whole day on a fort? Because that's kind of what I'm thinking about doing today, is just spending today doing mostly reading, maybe an adventure or two, and that kind of stuff. And then tomorrow doing an actual day of day forts. And then Monday we go back to Long Death on the old version. Maybe keep today's stream a little on the short side. That, or play some Lost Flame or something in the evening. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So we'll actually start season 1, or season 2 rather, tomorrow. So today we'll just kind of be babbling about and learning about the world. The artists are done. Everybody seems to think that art is the bottleneck. No, the art's done. Like, the art was done November, or earlier than November. Like, Meph was, like, when Meph was posting all of those screenshots with all of the different corpse tier variations, he's just like, I'm, like, the main tile set is done. I'm just doing this because I can. Like, quite literally, that's where they're at. And art's not going to be bottlenecks for new updates. It's like, oh, we added 2 monster types. Okay, they've got X number of sprites to draw. I think that Magic is going to do some weird shit to art, personally. But no, I don't think that art's going to speed up or slow down anything. It's all programming. It's all programming. Yeah, no, but if Tarn takes 2 years to code an update, Tarn's gonna take 2 years to code an update. So it doesn't matter. Literally, the art is kind of irrelevant because that's not gonna bottleneck update speed. It's all Tarn's ability to program. You know, I'm kind of surprised that Warframe doesn't have chainsaws. Is that fair to say? I'm kind of surprised that they don't have chainsaws. Also, did you ever figure out the answer to that question from Discord the other day, Zapdos, as to whether or not that certain person was an anti-face covering wearing person? Because if not, you owe me bits. But I won't hold you to it. Enemies have? Oh, really? So can you pick up enemy weapons then? Type deal? They're going to give us those enemy saws. So they're repurposing old assets so that you can have new weapon types. Fair enough. Yeah, it's a relatively new OBS plugin, Plump Spawn. It's literally just Google text-to-speech or speech-to-text. So it's only as accurate as speech-to-text can be. So you'll definitely see some hilarious incorrect writings. But yes, it's definitely accurate, but you know what can you do? It's also disableable. Just turn off closed captions at the bottom right. And I should also have the closed captions tag. So technically, if you click on the tag, you'll see all the other streams that actively have it. Like, hold on. That's my stream, right? Well, when it decides to load. But, oh no, I don't, actually. Hold on, I should fix that. Closed captions. There we go. Let's try that again. No, I still don't. Oi! Twitch. The fuck? Stream reception? Yeah, kinda. Yeah, there it is. I don't know why that wasn't on. But yeah, then you'll see all the other streams that have closed captions. So these are all streams on Twitch that have closed captions turned on. So, I mean, I think people should get better at it. Frankly. It should be something more people use. The saw is like a giant circular blade. Oh, not like chainsaw? Not like a chainsword, rather? Oh, come on. Oh, come on. You gotta have like those, like Warhammer style chainswords. Also, nice name, Plump Spawn. See if they're even showing their faces on the internet ever. I mean, you don't need to look it up. That would be like giving them more traffic. All right, chat. What year should we aim for? Technically, it's going to generate all the way up to year 500. But we're going pretty slow at 200. So I'm thinking we, that's a hell of a war going on there. Check this out. And all those humans in there, all those dwarves right there, all those elves right here just getting wrecked. All of those are little destroyed elven colonies. And then there's just a necromancer right there and all the goblins over there kind of spreading out everywhere. You never set yours past 125? Why? I like the little bit older, then you get kind of darker worlds. There's actually a lot of volcanoes in this world. I'm seeing another one right there. I like kind of picking over the, it's still also harassing the dwarves, so. Takes a long time. For me, more than 300 years kind of takes a long time. But then again, I don't really consider generating a world for 20 minutes to be a long time, so. You know, is anybody else here expecting a negative review on Steam? Literally just stating that generating a world took so long that they didn't have time to refund the game? Does anybody think that that's going to be a thing? Because I've been thinking about that for a while now. That there's going to be at least one person who gives Dwarf Fortress a negative review on Steam saying that they couldn't refund the game because it took so long to generate a world. It's going to happen. It's literally going to happen. Of a Spadnogomaxu. Although I do hope that they really highlight the shorter history, like 250-year history plus like small world size and all that stuff. I really hope they highlight all of that as like recommended or something in the clicky UI, because I think that's going to be very important. For you, more than 5 minutes is too much. Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, if I'm generating a world, I'll just like start it generating and then get up and leave. It is default, sure, but they should like put a big highlight above it that says recommended for new players or something. Because just because that's the default, like, yes, it is set as the default, but I've certainly seen new people streaming DF and stuff, like, go fiddle with that stuff and make it very long. Like, yes, it is the default, but they should highlight it as, like, recommended for new players kind of deal. You know what I mean? They should just make it clear that... Or, like, have a pop-up or something if you set it to long history saying, hey, this could take a very long time. Just to negate the possibility of, oh, this might... Noobs must suffer. I mean... Suffer as we did! Suffer like G did? Still a good reference, even though no one knows what I'm talking about. And here I am sitting on long history. How come the sync is inevitable? Inevitable sync. So Cooler, we need a thumbnail for season 2. Currently, the season 1 thumbnail is a like 3 dwarves and nothing else. And then you wake up and it's crashed, Reinhardt. There was somebody around here for a while, Zelosaur, who comes by from time to time, but usually is more active on the Discord, who was trying to generate I think it was 20,000-year-old world. So he'd set it up with custom history length and everything, just a medium size, and he had a dedicated computer for it. And every time it would get to like year 15,000 and then it would crash. He's like, I let it sit for a month and it crashed. I'm like, no. Hey, Cooler, it just means I owe you more money for when Patreon Day rolls in. Whoa, what the fuck just happened? Hold on. Okay, also it's not responding, but like, pause for a second here. The fuck? All this stuff up here? What is going on? It was all Dwarven, it all became Elven, it all became destroyed Goblin Elven, and now it's back to Dwarven. The fuck just happened? That was, Also, this would be a fun place to make a fort, right on the Strifeful Forests on this volcano, right next to this. The Elven Tower of the Hills of Inking. Let's look around a little bit. See how this generation's doing. Whoa! You know how we were talking about that those hills being cool looking? Check this out. Check this shit out. The Bog of Haunts. A haunted bog. Damn. In a pocket world, okay, that makes sense. Pocket worlds are much easier to generate. How long did it take him to generate it? I mean, with mods, anything is possible. That only has 7 upvotes? Yeah. Oh, he used Cheat Engine to adjust it. Interesting. I won't ban you for posting links. There's no rules against posting links here. I love these human coastal cities over here. I love the way the human coast cities look. They always look like they have relatively functioning docks and stuff. This area's got like, it's kind of like a haven for, the cooperative swamps is kind of like a haven for necromancy. They're just kind of like left up there. Of course there's so many Gorlaks. This area is just kind of like left alone to the humans with like this haunted peninsula. Whoa, okay, well we found where elven society is thriving. Jesus, that's a lot of elves. The Dull Hills, it's a very apt name. Look at all of those fucking elves. It's elves and some humans spattered about. Little human civilization that's separated from everywhere else. Another little one. I like this world quite a bit so far. Big haunted biome all the way up here. Check this out. The Scabrous Wastes. Big elven civ up here. I like that the elves are just kind of like isolationists. And then over here, there's like their own societies are just like popped up. Like 3 separate ones completely isolated. We've got humans and goblins over here. Ooh, Haunted Glacier. For some reason, I was expecting more stuff to like inhabit this area up here because it's so cool looking. The Prus Violence what? The Prus Violence Desert. The Dune of Legend. That's a good name. Give LNP. L2 play a game without LNP. Let's continue. Too lazy? Right. Then don't bitch. It's a problem of your own creation, my friend. Also just gonna turn off subgoal here so it's not covering shit till I get out of here. I love that name though, the Dune of Legend. Probably nothing of note happened there, considering how abandoned that whole area is. Although the fact that you're actually able to tie into Dwarf Fortress with Cheat Engine is kind of surprising to me. Although isn't Cheat Engine just RAM edits? Maybe they never discovered it. It's just a dune that they tell legends about that they're like, yeah, it's up north, but no one's ever actually been there. It's just like an area that they're like, yes, that's where all the magical creatures come from. Grey Trap is just a peak. So it's an impassable peak. It's just like a volcano peak, but impassable. Till I get bored. It's set to run for 500 though. We're not going to go that far. Probably for another 20 minutes or so. I like watching the worlds generate. makes things interesting. This is going to be this is gonna be the Dayforts Season 2 world. So I'm gonna share it. We'll probably spend most of today in Legends. And then tomorrow we'll actually start the season. And then I'll go back to Long Death starting on Monday, which is the old version. So probably not even gonna build a fort today. Like, probably just read Legends most of today. Find stories. Yeah, I haven't used Cheat Engine in a very, very, very long time. Last time I used Cheat Engine was to slow down a game to make it easier to record at high frame rate. But that's the last time I used Cheat Engine. What are you trying to research, Zapdos? What are you trying to figure out? You've literally never seen a successful one? Really? I've certainly had successful thieves. I've had people not only steal my shit, but like get away with it too, where I don't even see who it was. But then again, I've also had situations where like they get caught in the act and then everybody just like dogpiles them and they just get smeared across the floor. So I've seen like both outcomes. So yeah, no, they'll be feature identical. And the Steam version will actually include the classic version because you know it's a fun little thing that Tarn pointed out relatively recently is that apparently if you have a free game and you put it on Steam, you have to include the free version build in the download with the Steam version because otherwise it's considered exclusive features outside of Steam. So if you have a free you can sell a free game on Steam that is also free elsewhere, but it has to have identical features, including the free version included in the install with the Steam version. Otherwise, you're holding exclusive features away from paying customers, which is really funny. So there will be a method of swapping between DF Classic and the Steam version on the Steam version. Well, Among Us is just like that. There is no unique features on the free version for Among Us, right? There is no free... Like, it doesn't have a different graphics tile set or anything, right? It just runs on your phone. So Dwarf Fortress will have to be just like that, where the free version, well, the free version's not gonna have the graphics in it or the music or or I think it'll have the mouse support, question mark. But yeah, it's literally just a tile set and music, which is why when people get are getting super excited, I'm sitting here going like, just fucking, if you want to play Dwarf Fortress, just fucking play Dwarf Fortress. If you don't want to play Dwarf Fortress, don't. But like, it's just graphics. Could already just mod that into the game. Oh yeah, no, the UI layers are going to be different, but the game's not going to be any easier to learn. The learning curve is still going to be identical. I mean, the game can already be played with a mouse if you really want it to, but yeah, I like the fact that it can be played without a mouse. But no, I mean, the actual like learning curve and like is still going to be the same. It's just going to be more visually simple to look at, so it won't scare people away as much. And the thing that I always like to bring up, which is oh, there's other people enjoying this, so it must be good thing that Steam has going on for it. Like, sell a really complicated game on Steam. If it sells to an audience and has overwhelmingly positive reviews or very positive reviews and a lot of them, people will stick with the game because obviously those 60,000 people that are playing a game, debatable, Sebastian. These 60,000 people that are playing a game must really like it because they have a lot of hours and they all left positive reviews. So I guess I'll keep trying until I figure out what the fuss is all about. You know what I mean? And I think DF's going to kind of have that outcome a little bit. So that's what I'm hoping for anyway. Who says it's a poor game? Oh, you mean like a bad game? I don't know. I've definitely seen some people that have some very negative opinions of Dwarf Fortress. I don't know anybody who plays DF just because of FOMO, to be honest. God, I hate the term FOMO so much. Yeah, no, I mean, I guess you worded it weird, but yeah, I kind of see what you're saying. It suddenly started pouring rain outside. I mean, that's its strengths. Night Witch. I mean, I dropped people from surface layer all the way down into the magma sea, like 150 layers down in my Christmas fort. It was great, Plump Spawn. We dropped an entire Goblin Siege down there. We had the equivalent of the Star Wars bottomless pit, and it was an open pit so my dwarves could watch them fall by in a few spots. And I like to imagine that there was just Dwarf doing its thing in Dwarven Fort on layer like 20, and it's like, meow. Wee! It's just fucking great. No, totally. I mean, but like, I don't. Oh, okay, I play Dwarf Fortress in a way most people shouldn't. You know, I play Dwarf Fortress enough that I know how most of the game works. So I see Dwarf Fortress very differently than most people. Heads up, chat. Investments are open. So to me, it's a very gameable system of mechanics that is it's totally possible for somebody to completely break it. If you type in exclamation point tickets, you'll see how many you have, Night Witch. I always want to call you Night Wish. I know your name's Witch, but anyway, their guitarist just retired, and that makes me sad. Yeah, if you type in exclamation point tickets, you'll see how many you have. It's mostly just a way of tracking how many hours you have on the stream. That's all it really is. But there's a little mini game associated with it if you want to goof off. Yeah, I hate checkmark games. Like, checkmark games annoy me. I like games that are as Hosha has no jurisdiction here, Charles. I have no jurisdiction here. But we're on year 300. Let's go for the year 350. 350. Come on. It's a bad 350. Let's do it. Only checkmark is booze and food. Food and booze. Booze and food. And beds. Which is why I'm kind of against the, which is why I'm kind of against the whole notion of, you know, making all of the jobs into a checklist and, like, yeah, it keeps people playing, but I think that what's appealing to me about Dwarf Fortress is how weird it is. It's only a violation if somebody falls into it. Spitalier. Sure, but lots of games have creativity. See Minecraft, right? Like, it's certainly got a lot of creativity that you can have in it, but it's to me it's just all of the stuff that it does uniquely that nothing can even match, because no one is crazy enough to. This is gonna be a neat little world, I think. Those humans had their religion. Hey, dwarves have their religion too. Even in tutorial vids? Well, that's your problem, is you're watching tutorial videos. I wouldn't recommend watching tutorial videos at all. Because I tried that for years. Literally years. Just read the wiki. Literally, it's like a handwritten tutorial. It'll walk you through everything. There's a really good getting started guide on the wiki. Yes, they move around the map. You see it on adventure mode. And you can actually see the pathways they've taken and how long they've taken to go on their walks from the news screen when you get news. I mean, it spoils some of the fun for me. And Tarn agrees with me that it takes away from the point. I mean, if you want to build, like Trumpet Dog, if you want to build a mega project, I totally see why you'd use those tools. You know, like if your goal is to build a 15,000 block inverted crystal glass pyramid, sure, I get it. Okay, that fine. Like, yes, you need external tools to do that. But if you're just playing Dwarf Fortress to see the stories unfold, the less information the player has, the better. And it sucks learning the game that way. It does. And there's a lot of things that are obtuse and complex about DF. But once you start to learn the game, unless you're trying to build mega projects like Cupo does, it actively takes away from the enjoyment of the game. And it ruins the stability of the game. Oh, dude, Legends Viewer is the one thing that I kill myself every time, or kick myself every time that I don't have. I wish I could use Legends Viewer with every install. I do have a few installs with it set up, but I don't ever use it because it's like I don't want to get used to it. I'm just crossing my fingers and hoping that the Steam version has better Legends viewing stuff. Even just like the ability to click on names and see that name's history. God, I don't even need as many tools, but being able to see the locations on a map when you select the name of a city would be amazing too. There's so many things about Legends that are so under-realized. And like, Tarn did a talk I think it was 2017, where he showed off Legends, and he was showing off some tools that he was testing for Legends, which included things like clicking on highlighted text, selecting highlighted text and stuff. And I wonder if he's got his own build of Legends that he's just hiding from us. Because it's like, where did you get that? That's not Legends Viewer. What the fuck? So I don't know. I don't know. That stuff's weird. It's all over the place. And I really hope that we get a better way to look at Legends. Like, better way to look at Legends and general stability of the game are my two big wishes. Like, frankly, like, beyond anything, and then just more exposure for Dwarf Fortress. But, like, the ability to sort by race. Like, I want to be able to go to Legends and just type in dragon and see how many living dragons there are. It's so hard to, like, figure that shit out without Legends Viewer. But, you know, here's the thing, right? I have two different lines in my head, right? There's Dwarf Therapist and there's DF Hack. I kind of understand why people use DF Hack over Dwarf Therapist. If you're using DF Hack, you kind of don't need Dwarf Therapist. DF Hack still exposes too much information, in my opinion, but I think DF Hack does a better job kind of balancing the two, especially with how customizable it is. Like, if you just want to use the job assigning from DF Hack, I fully fucking get it. I completely understand that. But I don't know. I don't understand why so many experienced DF players use DF Therapist. I don't. The amount of stability that you lose, the ugliness of it, having to tab between two different programs all the time. No. Bognogus, dude, what up, man? I'm literally generating a world. What's up, man? How have you been? Fucking long ass time. Zastaba, what's up? MJ Smoke, hello. As well as Polly. Life Coffee Gaming. Bunny Hedger. Gimli. Damn, dude. Damn. Jack, can I get a round of beers for the Raiders? We'll have to open up some new tabs here, I think. How's everybody been? What you been up to, Bog? Missed your face. I don't get to watch your streams much these days because of my sleep schedule. I basically like wake up and I immediately start streaming, and I don't get the time to watch anything in the morning, which is when you're on in my time zone. But what up, everybody? If you guys don't know Bognagus, he plays anything that has spaceships. So go watch Bognagus because he's cool. And like literally anything with, or rather, his mustache plays anything with spaceships. He's just along for the ride, I think. Doing space nerdery as per usual. What were you playing? I know that you've been doing a lot of Star Citizen stuff, and I saw you in the Dual Universe directory for a bit. That's where I'm at. When he rammed a cactus. Nice. Quality. I like that. Yeah, I don't permit Keck W here. Well, I mean, you can call yourself stupid. That's fine. A lot of the commonly used FFZ emotes are not permitted here. That's not really a portion of Twitch culture I'm a huge fan of. Star Citizen, Dual Universe, and every so often Everspace 2. How is that Everspace 2? Like, so far all I've heard about it is, yep, it's good. All I know is that the 34 Big Things space game looks really bad, which are the it just looks like a Star Fox clone, but like a bad one. But like outside of that, Everspace looks good. Because I don't know, I've had the itch to play something in space recently, and like I reinstalled Elite Dangerous and uninstalled it twice. Like I've had that itch. Also, to those of you guys who've just piled in, this is Dwarf Fortress, and I'm generating a world right now, so it takes a little bit. We're in year 347. I swear it's actually doing something in the background. We're generating a map, basically. But if you guys could help me out. So I have, well, as of right now, 13,333 followers. I just need a few more to screenshot 13,337, and then you can all unfollow. That's fine. But I just need a few more followers. to get that. How long will I go in years? I'm thinking about hitting year 500. It hasn't slowed down too much yet. We could probably do that in another 30 minutes. Looks a lot like Freelancer. I mean, I don't know because I haven't played it. But visually, it looks cool. Everspace 1 was like a run-based action RPG thing. 13,335, I think, unless I'm counting incorrectly. But not a clone. I mean, did you ever mess around in the newest X game? I think it's X4. 13,334 now. Yes. Because Twitch's count takes a few seconds to catch up. We might overshoot. Shit. I'm gonna hold my screenshot button. I gotta screenshot this. Super meh. The flight model in it looked the X series are weird. Okay, we're one off. I need one more. We'll see. It's 13,336. I need this screenshot. I'm literally just staring at it. But when the game of the month rolls over, I mean, I've heard from a lot of people who really like Factorio that they like it more than Factorio. But I also heard one person say that it's like a dumbed down Factorio, so I don't know. You see, I think I might like that more. I'm not into space combat. I like the like here's the thing. Ah, dang it, we missed it. It jumped from 13,336 to 13,338. Well, regardless, whatever. Dang it. I didn't get the opportunity to screenshot that. Oh well. Yeah, I've never been big on like aerial combat in games. I've always kind of found that it ends with me just kind of flying up, down, left, or right. Family stuff? Yeah. Cheers, man. And thanks a lot for the raid. It's good to see you. I'll try and swing by at some point. Say hi. Check in with the mustache fam. Spaceborne. I'm trying to think. What's Spaceborne? What game are you calling Spaceborne? Yeah, more or less, Reinhardt. I mean, I played X2 like 10,000 years ago. So, but I never got particularly deep in it. When I say 10,000 years, I mean about 10 years ago. It's an indie. Now I need to look up Spaceborne. What the heck's Spaceborne? I see here, I thought you were like saying like Space Dark Souls. I'm like, they didn't, no one made a Space Dark Souls. What? Spaceborne. Oh, wow, you're right. This is a real thing. You're not making this up. Damn. This actually looks kind of neat. I can see why you'd want to like it just looking at it. I was half expecting to be like, oh, I own this. I'm not gonna lie. Intentionally or unintentionally? Aborted your world. Oh no. Oh, that sucks. Hey, Pac, what's up? Yeah, I think Star Sector is probably the space game I would get into. If I got into it, if I actually got into a space game, partially because I already own it. I'm trying to think of the name of this other game though. I want to say it was called like Wayfarer or something. But there's another space game. Hold on, let's see if I can. I think I own it. I'm at the point with my Steam library where I have to search by tags. No, I don't. But it had a Steam version. Fuck, what was the name of it? There's a game that's a lot like Star Sector. Is there a new demo or is this like the old demo? Because I tried the old demo. Pac? Fuck, what's the name of that game? I should chuck that on a Patreon poll at some point. Star Sector, because I'd be down to get into that. Oh shit! Follow count went back down. We're at 13,337. Yay! You can all unfollow me now. It's fine. Goodbye. I have succeeded in the memeage. Excellent. Thanks to everybody who assisted with that. But what's the name of it? Let's see if I can search by tags on Steam and find it, because there's a game that's on Steam that's like Star Sector, but it's more focused on building your own ship. And it's kind of got a very similar, like, gritty, realistic look to it. And no, I'm not thinking of Space Haven, but... No, it's not a variant. No, it's top down. It's not 3D. Like, it's a 2D thing. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I have no... Oh, you mean like top and bottom? I don't know. It depends on what the game generates. It really depends on what the game generates. Let's try searching off of Space Engineers. Games like this. No, not Star Drive. But similar graphics to it. God, this is gonna bother me all week, because I remember looking at it and going, this looks cool. This is gonna bother me for a while. Let's see if I search by just Space Sim on Steam. Let's see what I can find. It's certainly not top seller or anything. Fucking Hi-Rez made a third-person shooter? What world is it? It's not Spaz. No, not Space Pirates and Zombies. I would remember that. Those guys are from my hometown. I would remember that. Fuck, what's the name of this thing? Although I just found a little game that looks kind of cool. 500, 550 technically. 10,000. At this size of world, 1,050 would take me about 5 hours, and I'm not doing that. Let's see if Google can help. I already said no, not Space Haven. This is gonna bother the hell out of me. What was the name of I watched Cringer fucking stream it. It started with a W. That's why I'm thinking it was called Wayfarer, but... Yeah, I mean, the humans are going evil. What else is new? You don't need to ask for perms to post links. Just post links. There's never been any rules against links here. Oh yeah, no, I'm aware of Ultimate Atom. It's not Wayward. Wayward's a little game that I streamed. Oh, there's an official demo out on Steam now. Because there was a backer demo previously, which I played. Pack. I wasn't supposed to get it because I'm not a backer, but I did play it. But that was supposed to be locked. I didn't realize that it was public on Steam. No, I haven't played that. I'll have to try that. Maybe we'll do that tonight. Maybe I'll do that today. Although I need to pee. I will be right back. I keep trying to figure out what the fuck that game name was called. Yeah. No, I think I'll try that tonight. Hold on, just let me download that in the background. Although I just found a game that kind of just looks like a Star Sector knockoff. It's called Sunset Sector. Check that out on Steam. Kind of looks neat, actually, but also very much just looks like a Star Sector knockoff. Man. It's literally going to bother me until I figure out what this game is. I'm probably not going to figure this out. I'm just going to throw this out there. Probably not going to figure this out. Because Steam makes it kind of hard to actually find these games. Actually, hold on. It wasn't called Wayward Galaxy, was it? No, it wasn't. It's a top-down. I remember seeing Cringer stream it, and it's more just bothering me. Like, it's not that I really want to play it, but I remember seeing Cringer stream it once or twice. It's a top-down space game, similar in graphic style as Star Sector, but it's more focused around designing your own ship and just having one really big ship instead of having a fleet. And I can't for the life of me remember the name of it. But I remember seeing Cringer stream it, and it's driving me nuts. And I seem to remember it started, like, the name of it started with a W. And I seem to recall it having a Steam page, but I don't seem to own it on Steam, and I also... Maybe if I just go to my email and type in space game. Kind of like FTL? Oh, not in structure. It was an open world sandbox, not a running game. But, like, I mean, visually it looked kind of like Star Sector. And I remember having a back and forth with them via email because they were working on some other project. Oh, I found it. It is called Wayward. I found it. This thing. This is the fucking game I was thinking of. Well, that's not gonna bother me anymore. Hallelujah. But yeah, no. This is the one I was thinking of. Fucking found it. It was Wayward. Yeah, it's just you missed the Wayward Terran Frontier Zero Falls subtitle. Anyway, that's the game I was thinking of. It's too many Waywards, yeah. No, I was thinking of other Wayward. Yeah, and cringe around it, see? I don't know how well it's doing or if it's even getting updated. Doesn't look like they've posted anything since 2019, so. I just remember it looking really pretty. Like, I really like the graphic style of it, and I still do. All right, well, anyway, that's solved. How did we get there? What were we talking about? I needed to figure out what the name of that game was, or it was gonna drive me bonkers from the rest of the day. But anyway, I'm gonna go download that ADOM demo. Because I didn't realize there was a public demo. I just figured it was another backer demo. And I wasn't gonna go bug people to give it to me. It's 400 megabytes, that's big for a roguelike. I guess it does have 3D graphics. I'm ready to, like, forget or remember how to play ADOM, I guess. We'll have to do that tonight. So today will be world building in ADOM. How's that sound to you guys? "426 years into the age of myth." This world seems big enough that no matter how apocalyptic certain areas get, I think we'll still have large swaths of happy land. Which is what I'm hoping for. Yes. Well, I think technically it's just a large world, but yes. What are we doing in Happy Land? I mean, I'm not doing anything in Happy Land. What are you doing in Happy Land? Also, did you figure out what you wanted as a sound command yet, Freskins? Still trying to figure that out.
Are you man enough for all this fucking tea?
I mean, we knew that. No, that's why I'm drinking coffee.
Why are these fools still breathing my air? This is unacceptable!
Perfectly legitimate thing to use, Freskins. Where did you get that from? Graft enemy body parts? From what? Onto what? From where? Onto where? Okay, I thought we were still talking about Dwarf Fortress. I was like, I don't remember that from the tags. There's a grafter skill tree. I'll be honest, I'm pretty blind on the Ultimate ADOM stuff. I'm not super plugged into what they're doing and working on. And it's been a long time since I've played ADOM, so I'll be super rusty and die as shit then. But I'm ready. I'm ready for another ADOM. I'm ready to get totally fucking lost in it. I'm ready to get totally fucking lost. I mean, that's what it needs to be, right? It needs to be user-friendly and eye-catching. I don't know if it necessarily covers the eye-catching part, though. Oh. I mean, I certainly remember in Ultimate ADOM, basically, or in previous ADOM, becoming just a creature of chaos. Just like, oh, I'm growing tentacles now. Yeah. I mean, I'm watching the trailer now with no sound, but over 80 skill trees, more than 100 spells. Variety. It's the spice of roguelikes. The question is, are doors still gonna kill me? Because door bombs or trapped doors, whatever, like, man, are doors still gonna kill me? Yeah. I hope it gets some sort of a mainstream audience, but I very much think it won't. You know what I mean? Like, I really want ADOM, Caverns of Chaos, Ultimate ADOM, Caverns of Chaos, to take off and be a big, successful game. I very much expect it to not. I think it's gonna... The people who know that ADOM exists are gonna buy it and be like, yay, new ADOM! And everybody else is gonna be like, huh? What? What the fuck is that? All right. Because, like, if you go to YouTube, just normalize YouTube, and you type in Ultimate ADOM. Yeah, ADOM, Ultimate ADOM's official YouTube channel has 200 subscribers. And their Divine Spells preview that they posted 2 weeks ago has 200 views. Like, there's no excitement behind this. Like, most of these videos have, like, a sub 200 views. And they've been uploaded. Like, the Factions trailer that they put up got 120 views. Like, nobody knows this game exists. Such a fucking shame. What game? Ultimate ADOM. ADOM 2. Here, this. I just downloaded the demo for it. This is the sequel to ADOM, which is a game that came out in 1994 and was in active development until, like, the mid-2000s, and then they took, like, I think it was 10-year break and came back in, I think, 2012, 2011-ish, did a Kickstarter, and then redid the whole game and made an expansion pack for it, and it's up on Steam in the form of ADOM. Ancient Domains of Mystery, in brackets, which is this. Traditional roguelike, hard as balls, fucking incredibly deep. Very, 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 very good. One of the greatest. One of the greats. One of the greatest RPGs of all time, one could say. And Ultimate ADOM, Caverns of Chaos, is the sequel, which is out in early access on February 11th. And you bet your ass I'm going to stream a shit out of that. So I will play that as soon as they give it to me. Or rather, I might just buy it. I don't know if I'm going to wait for key or anything. I might just buy it. Yeah, I don't know. I might just buy it. Because I want to give them the money for it. Well, if you ever want to try and give it a real shot, Baileys, this is a good stream to watch. Because this is, like, my bread and butter. This is what I do on Twitch. I help people learn Dwarf Fortress. Or yell at them until they do. Quote Twitch chat. But when the Steam version comes out, I'll be playing the hell out of that. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. And if you want to keep up with news about the Steam version DF, my YouTube channel is the place to go, because I make videos about all the information that's released. Well, it's more like, okay, so here's where the actual similarities are. RimWorld took a couple mechanics from Dwarf Fortress and then made a completely different game and advertised itself as Dwarf Fortress for normal people. In reality, it's kind of nothing like Dwarf Fortress. Dwarf Fortress's focus is in a completely different direction than RimWorld. RimWorld is a combat tower defense game with some base building and character management. Dwarf Fortress is a world simulation that you can choose to interact with if you want. I'm generating a world. I've been generating a world for 2.5 hours, and ish. I mean, what time? I think I started generating at about 10:40 ish, and it's now noon, like 10 after. So yeah, I've been generating a world for a little bit. You just saw my update video? Gotcha. Well, I hope that you stick around in some way, shape, or form. And Tele, hello. Taking the dog for a park? Okay. I mean, today is going to be mostly reading Legends because the new version just came out. So today what we're doing is we are doing world generation and world prep for tomorrow. Today we're going to be looking at we're generating a pretty old world, which is still in the Age of Myth, almost surprisingly. I was kind of expecting it to be out of the Age of Myth, but I guess that's good. It means there's plenty of creatures still alive. We're generating a world. Danks, don't take this the wrong way. I have 4,000 hours in RimWorld. So, and I'm not here to have this discussion, but I have 4,000 hours in RimWorld. I played the game since the first version that was available on the website. I streamed thousands of hours of it. And I also have thousands of hours in Dwarf Fortress. So if anybody's qualified, I think I'm qualified. RimWorld is predictable down to the minute when they're going to send stuff to kill you. Unless you're playing with Randy. And then it's still pretty predictable. It's capable of telling about 12 stories that all end the same way. And it's very limited in what it can actually do as a world simulation. To the point where the RimWorld creator, Tynan Sylvester, has stated he abjectly has failed to create the game that he wants to create. The game he wanted to create was a sandbox story generator that people play to experience science fiction stories that it generates, like Dwarf Fortress. But instead, what he created was a min-max heavy tower defense game, which is fine, and it's great at that. It's a lot of fun. I love that game. But it's very, 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 very different from Dwarf Fortress, and in my opinion, it's borderline false advertising it as Dwarf Fortress. If you want to play a game that's a little bit more accessible and modernized, but much more similar to Dwarf Fortress, even though it doesn't have anywhere near the depth, look at a game called Odd Realm, ODD Realm, on Steam. It's $10, and that's a lot closer to what Dwarf Fortress is. It's a lot more passive, a lot more just watch your people do their thing and just kind of interact with them lightly, whereas RimWorld has more in common with The Sims, but with guns. There's no long-lasting impacts and effects from negative events happening in RimWorld. It's just a matter of getting past that stuff. So I just realize that if RimWorld is your favorite game ever, that's great. But it is very different than Dwarf Fortress. Very, very, very different. And once you've played Dwarf Fortress for a bunch, RimWorld does really just feel like a tower defense game. I know that sounds like a negative thing. I fucking love tower defense games. So it's not necessarily a negative thing. I mean, Balloons TD does great. So, for a lot of people, tower defense games are great, and RimWorld is very, very good at what it does. But it doesn't do what it intends to, and it doesn't do what it was advertised as, which to me kind of sucks. Especially as somebody who loves what Dwarf Fortress can do. And I see so many games selling themselves as like Dwarf Fortress that aren't even remotely similar. I've never actually played a Balloons Tower Defense game. I have played, what's the name of that game? Why am I blanking on it now? I'm blanking on all of the, I've played Defense Grid. What was the other big tower defense game? It wasn't Legends Defense. Fuck, what was the name? I was on mobile. I played it for free on mobile, and there's like a $30 one on Steam. Shit. Here we go again. Sanctum? No, but I have played... That's not the one I'm thinking of, but I have played it. What does Liberal Crime Squad have to do with this? Hold on. Give me a minute. I'll find it. Field Runners! That was it. Field Runners. I played the shit out of Field Runners. Field Runners was amazing. I loved Field Runners. On my phone. Well, you got me beat there, Bailey's. Now I'm like looking at tower defense games on Steam. There's a lot of good tower defense games. Tower defense is pretty good. But yeah, no. Plan for today then. World building. And then Ultimatum. I mean, here's the thing. Especially with me. Do not compare the amount of time you have to sink into video games to the amount of time I sink into video games. I am single, lonely, bored. I live in my house. I'm at risk. Literally can't leave my house, and playing video games is my full-time job. So do not compare the amount of time you have to play video games to the amount of time I have to play video games. I got nothing else to do. Quite literally. Nah, I'm good. That would require me supporting Blizzard, which is supporting Activision. And I don't support either of those companies. Well, that company, rather. But do I have the stamina to binge on a game? I've done multiple 24-hour streams. Not recently, but... Except your towers look like dwarves and they walk around. I mean, isn't everything kind of a tower defense game if you bake it down enough? Yes, so you have, like, two perfectly valid reasons to not play a lot of video games. Thanks. Once you're done with your masters, and then you can play some video games. What are you studying, if I can ask? Stardew Valley, the tower defense game. You know, I would play that. Then Stardew Valley might actually be interesting. You can play however much you want. That is fair. That is fair. Neat. That shit's cooler than what I do, man. There was one time, a number of years ago, one of my subs just was like, yo, I graduated university. I have my master's degree. I'm like, what is it in? Nuclear physics. Just like, whoa. Whenever, people who watch me are just like, yo, I'm way smarter than you. It's like, man, and I'm over here just playing video games. You've got the cool job. College is painful? Why didn't no one tell me? I mean, I just completely skipped going to school, kind of. Which I don't know if I'd necessarily recommend, but at the same time, I would necessarily recommend it. I love how I said I wasn't going to generate 550 years, and here we are. Trying to get an engineering degree, and it hurts? Yeah. Yeah. Well. You know. I've always heard rough things about engineering. But I don't know. This doesn't have anything to do with schooling, but I read the entirety of the manual for my synthesizer, and I've successfully managed to sequence up and form a sound to make it play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, which means I am well on my way to becoming a hobbyist sound engineer. The times of dial-up internet? I had dial-up until 2006, so fuck yeah, talk to me about dial-up internet. I would go to my friend's house to download shit. Yes, I remember what the days of dial-up internet. My parents refused to upgrade. And then when we upgraded, it was slower than the dial-up. I'm not even joking. See, I did the opposite of that, Magna. I got tired of schooling because I was homeschooled, right? And then when I just kind of got to a point where I was just like, fuck it. And I just finished school in a year. So I went from, like mostly finished high school at 15 to just finishing high school before I turned 16. And then just went and got a job, and I've just been working ever since. Either full-time, part-time, or for myself. Last couple of years have been for myself doing this. It's a very accurate sound profile, Puck. NWHL? I don't know what NWHL is. Northwestern Hockey League? New Western Hockey League. Narwhale Hockey League. Narwhale Humor League. Oh, National Women's Hockey League. Oh, I knew that was a thing. Women's hockey is pretty popular around here, actually. They often... I don't believe I've ever seen it shortened down to NWHL. WHL, I know what that is. Although I prefer the Narwhale Hockey League. But yeah, the Women's Hockey League as well as the Junior Women's Hockey League are both quite popular around here. They often do supporting games for normal hockey games. Although maybe I just know hockey fanatics who go to the college games, the real games, and the women's games. So... Actually, you know what I like watching is sledge hockey. Sledge hockey's amazing. It's wheelchair hockey. That shit's amazing. Because it's like, oh, hey, what's better than hockey? Guys and girls sitting down in a sled made out of a single blade that is as long as their legs, and they have a small skate with a small hitter on each hand, and they just skate around with their hands. It's so fucking cool. It's like, imagine watching hockey, but they have a full-size sword on their legs. It's great. It's fucking great. Sledge hockey's amazing. Love sledge hockey. So what do you think, Chad? Do we go for another 50 years? Or do I stop it somewhere in the 500s? There's plenty of events to read through, that's for sure. All the way? Go all the way? I've counted at least 2. But you know I don't do that many volcano embarks. Because magma forges? Sure. Yeah, I almost never do magma. Or not magma, but volcano embarks, just period. Simply because they have the same colors as the Canucks. Huh. What command are you looking for, Tom? I don't know what that's supposed to do. But also lag? I don't really have problems with lag in volcano forts. Ocean forts, yes. Especially if I start draining water into weird places. Oh, actually, the time I do have problems with lag in volcano forts when things start coming out of the volcano. Like when magma crabs start climbing out of the volcano. No, that's fair. I'm running, well, probably the best possible CPU you could have for Dwarf Fortress. I'm currently pickling eggs, which is very controversial in pilification. Spicy pickled eggs, actually, because I'm pickling them alongside of jalapenos. Pickled asparagus is great though. But anyway, my setup is, well, DF is mostly CPU bound. So if you have a good CPU, that's where most of it's gonna come from. So the rest of it doesn't really matter. But I got 32 gigabytes of RAM, an i7-7700K, which is the fastest individual clock speed of any CPU that they've made outside of the i9s, I think. And I think it might even be faster base clock speed than the i9s. Why would pickle eggs? Why would pickle eggs? Because they're incredibly tasty on sandwiches. And they're very and I really like eggs, and the amount of I need protein, and getting protein is difficult. So I have a lot of eggs, and so I don't need to go grocery shopping as often. I simply have 24 eggs pickling. So that in 20 days, when they're done pickling, I can have pickled eggs. That's a good thing I live alone, so who cares if I get horrible breath? Yeah, I wouldn't pickle eggs with beets. I wouldn't do that. So easy life. I live in a 426 square foot apartment in the middle of the city, so I don't quite have that. But no, I've always had pickled eggs. Pickled eggs is something I've had since I was a small child. I love pickled eggs. This is going to be a hell of a world when it's done. But then again, I'm generating this world so that you don't have to. Yeah, I mean, the i9s are kind of terrible. But, like, people who talk about DF needing a lot of RAM don't know what the fuck they're talking about, because, like, how much, like, this is about as much CPU as DF's going to use. Currently, Dwarf Fortress is using 15% of my CPU. It's using almost as much CPU as Chrome. and 2 gigabytes of RAM currently. And according to this, it's also not responding. You know, DF, right? I assure you DF is responding. It's just thinking. What are you typing in? I don't understand those numbers. Unless I've benchmarked. I've timed world generation for the first 250 years, and this was the fastest out of all the CPUs that me and a friend of mine own. They're just, all I know about i9s is that they're really hot, and I don't need temperature problems on my computer. But isn't that like the case for most gaming related things? Like, no one actually needs 64 gigabytes of RAM, but people do it anyway. Like, called Planet of Dragons. Watch all of the dragons be dead. There just isn't a single dragon in the world. They're all just like corpses. Yeah, no, totally. I mean, most games are completely overkill. You're still in the age of myth. I don't know. I've definitely generated worlds and then looked at legends later and then just been like, oh, everything is dead. Fuck. I've actually like regenerated worlds because I go look at my legends later and realize that everything is dead. And I'm just like, well, fuck. Body, how long does it take to generate a world? How big of a world are you generating? This? 2 hours? Probably. If I did twice the length of history, 7. But on a medium world, 10 minutes, not even. But like, you could certainly set up custom age generation stuff where it takes dozens of hours. It depends on what I'm doing with the 1050-year-old world. If it's a super weird world, like Cornetem, which was my last world for day forts, took about 7 hours to generate, but the reason it took so long to generate was because I did custom stuff with it. I mean, why don't you just... Wait, do you generate a new world for every fort, Danks? You don't spend multiple forts in each world? Half the fun of DF is having multiple forts in each world. I'm very curious about this mountain range in the middle of this right here. All those little pointy things, because it's yellow. It's not gray. I don't often see mountain ranges with different colors. You didn't even know you could do that? It's one of the coolest things that DF does. You can build a fortress in a world, then retire the fortress, go play as an adventurer as a single character in the world, run around, visit your old fortress, then retire your adventurer in your old fortress, start a new fortress, play that one for a couple of years, and then go back to the first one, and your adventurer will still be there. Potentially. And then start playing as the adventurer again. And then read Legends for a bit and read about all the events that happened at the previous fort. That's what's cool about DF. You can't do that in any other game like it. Any other game that claims to be like DF, you can't do that. There's only one other game that like rivals DF's world generation, and that's Ultima Ratio Regum. And nobody's heard of that game, and nobody plays it. So it's also not really a game, so it's not super surprising that nobody plays it. Sounds like fun. I might make an adventure today just to go look at some monuments. I don't generally play adventurers very long because I'm really bad at adventure mode. Like, really bad at adventure mode. Yeah, the one thing I really wish you could do in Dwarf Fortress is start forts back up. Yeah, I've managed to get like Dwarf Fortress's controls and menus for me like a bicycle impalification. I can literally just fly through them without even thinking about the controls. Adventure mode, for whatever reason, has always been too complicated. Or like weird in a way that like isn't understandable to me quickly. Whereas a lot of roguelikes, I just look at it and be like, okay, well, this works. So chat, out of curiosity, the day that Ultimate ADOM comes out on Steam in early access, how many people do you guys think are going to be streaming it? Because my bet is like at most 5. I don't think there's going to be many people playing it. I do not think there's going to be many people playing it. I think there's going to be like nobody playing it. Also, I actually knew that, Darren. That's interesting. One of them being the publisher. It's like, it'll be the developer and then me and then 2 streams with 1 viewer. There's going to be, you think there's going to be more than 50? I don't think anybody's going to be streaming it on launch. Straight up. That game's going to be a very quiet release, I think. Like, no offense to them, but they've done a really bad job promoting it. Depends on the hype. Oh, I'm talking about Ultimate ADOM, not Dwarf Fortress. Dwarf Fortress is going to have hundreds of people streaming it. Dwarf Fortress is going to be huge when it comes out on Steam, but I'm talking about Ultimate ADOM. Because I know for a fact Co-Carnage and Burke Black are going to stream Dwarf Fortress when it comes out. And, well, that's all that you need. But no, I'm talking about Ultimate ADOM. But why do you randomly say that you use Space Fox? Is that good too? Are you asking why I'm using this tile set? Or are you just stating that you use Space Fox? Because Space Fox is a classic. A lot of people like Space Fox. Oh, that's kind of cool. Separate section for, game crashed. But it was all a dream. Yeah, I literally placed my hand on the keyboard to move around, and then game crashed. Man. F indeed. Well, he didn't fix all of the world gen crashes, that's for sure. I just found one. Well.
You fucking donkey!
Yep. That. Too few volcanoes anyway. What, do you want me to turn the volcanism the volcano activity all the way up then? All right, chat. This is up to you. Do we do the long history again? Or do we do a shorter history? Because 250 years is not going to take that long. Because that was long. For 550. Yeah, Reinhardt. Skeletor will. Probably. But, I mean, here's the thing. I'm gonna use the Steam version and then go back to ASCII. It's gonna happen. Although I'll probably still play through Steam. Just for ease of, setup. The Absolute Tempest Planet. So I'm going to reset this one just because I don't like the name. Although yeah, I also don't like the layout. Although what I'm going to see if I can do is if I can work with Cooler or another artist to make a tile set for the Steam version that is more ASCII. So something that's compatible with the multi-Z level environments, but is more akin to the classic ASCII. You know, I actually kind of really like this world. What's this one called? The Ever-Seeing Universes. Oh, that's absolutely going to be used for the Steam tiles, for the Steam Workshop, his tile sets. Man, it's a bummer this wasn't connected down here. If only that was connected. What happened to the other world? The game crashed. Right as it finished. There's a volcano in the middle of it. There's 2 volcanoes out in the ocean. Abort. Trust me, I wanted to roll with the other world. I was going to. It finished generating and instantly crashed. The dimension of dragons. Dragon's just a popular term these days, I guess. Okay. I like this layout. I actually really like this one. All of the volcanoes are out in the middle of the ocean, though. Let's try another one. Yeah, man. So much history we'll never get to explore. So much history we will never get to explore. I already don't like this one. Now this is a big continent. World Gen just gets laggy. I quite like this world. I like this secluded area up here. Yeah. Some big rivers in this one. I mean, I'm hoping for a Pangea. Now this one I like. Mostly because I really like kind of this central part of the continent that just has that huge mountain range kind of surrounding this. Like this central like inner ocean with these massive rivers coming out of it. I like this area a lot. Does this spark joy? Nothing sparks joy anymore. Actually, that's not true. My synthesizer sparks joy, that's for sure. That does look awesome. I love those big rivers. Yeah, no. I mean, I don't mind things being separate. I kind of like having, like, Dwarf Australia equivalents, like, having an area like this. Like, I'm totally fine with having this. It's just if there's two very large continents that are totally split down the middle, I don't like. Because often what happens is one faction will just win, right? And then you end up with very boring area dynamics. But I'm totally fine with having the occasional sectioned off island. I love how many big rivers are in this one. All right, we're going to roll with this. The portentous domain. Mudun Gudun. Mudun Gudun. It's fun to say, too. Mudun Gudun. It's growing on me. But now we have to wait another 2 hours for it to generate 550 years. Fuck! Oh, I'm so sad. So sad. I almost want to go pop into Bellinaire's stream and just be like, I just generated fucking 500 years. Why didn't... What? But why didn't that work? Because I know for a fact you're in the Patreon. What? Hold on. Let me fix that. Is your name miswritten or is something broken? Oh, my bot's disconnected. Nani? Excuse me? Give me a second. Restarting the bot.
Cheese for everyone!
I mean, now I'm restarting the bot. Then it's connected. Try that now. Oh, you changed your name. Yeah, that would do it. Hold on, let me update it then. Now it works. What did you change in your name? Or did you remove the G? Yeah, it's now manufacturing monkeys instead of manufacturing monkeys. All right, well, anyway. It's good to see you, monkeys. What's up? I mean, you know why we have machines, right, Reinhardt? It's because the long-term plan for DF is to be able to have moving platforms in Dwarf Fortress. Like, full-on, like, Howl's Moving Castle style machines. That is a long-term plan that Tarn's talked about in multiple places. I mean, we kind of already have trains. They're called minecarts. Just as deadly as trains. Can definitely kill people with trains. Now I'm just scared it's going to crash again. I think, let's go for 350 years. Let's aim for that. But I'm gonna pause it again once it forms civs, because I want to see if we got any good or evil biomes. 333. Maybe. It's a plausibility. Apologies for all of the waiting. You know, it's kind of funny. I was watching Russ Money stream DF a couple weeks ago, and he was generating a world in the background, and his chat was bitching, moaning, and complaining that it was taking so long. It's like, where's the gameplay, streamer? He's just like, you guys said that you wanted to watch the world generate, and he was just generating medium-sized worlds till he found one. It took him like maybe 15 minutes to find a world he liked. And then there's me. 2 hours of world generation, game crashes, and chat's like, do it again. Can you make a gun with a train? I'm sure we could make a gun with a train. Where do you see a volcano? I don't actually see it. See a volcano. All right, it placed civs. Oh, hey, I see a volcano. All right, let's pause real quick and just poke around. Once it decides to pause. Red patch? Red patch is probably desert. Yeah, it's red sand desert. Yeah, there's a volcano. The hill of covering. The hill of covering things in lava. All right, so this little area is just going to be very evil. Because I don't see anything on here except for goblins. So this tiny little sectioned off continent down here is just going to be evil. Like, just all evil. Yeah, they're red sand dunes. So this is white sand. Red sand is up here. And then the black little wavy lines are black sand. Volcanic sand. Hey, Crow, what up? But yeah, this is just going to be an evil continent, right? Although there are some elves here, now that I'm looking a little closer. Sup, audio? We spent 2 hours generating a world and then the game crashed and I didn't get to save it. So we're generating another one. Ooh, I love the look of this. Look at these. The cold southern mountain homes next to the dense doused mire at the count of the continents of crafting. Axe of Dots. Not my favorite name. I don't think this one would be embarkable though. That's a volcano. I wonder if that's embarkable because that's right around the steepest peaks. I'd have to use DF hack to embark on that. Humans in the violet plain. I read that as the violent plain. We've got haunted areas. This right here, this big red patch is what you were talking about, I think. Ooh, this looks like fun. Check this out. We got humans and goblins spawning around here, but this is haunted and this is evil. So we got a haunted desert right next to evil grasslands. So that's pretty cool. Got a bunch of like these like landlocked oceans, which I think are fucking cool. Yeah, there will be plenty of fun in here to be had. Let's zoom back in and continue. Oh, I love making sand and clay collection forts. Hey, audio though. How's things? Let it take as long as you want. I mean, you could stop it at year 5 and start. How does temperature affect forts? It doesn't. Temperature affects materials and what animals spawn. I'm already seeing much death. Much death, evil, and necromancy infecting this region. I'm going to go open up my blinds and take a quick 2-minute stretch. I will be back in a moment. I mean, sure, yeah, settle somewhere cold. If you settle somewhere cold, like you'll get seasonal snowfall, but that's like the only real change. It doesn't affect your dwarves at all, though. They don't care if it's cold or hot or anything. What are you irritated by with the dwarf's definition of a broadleaf forest, out of curiosity? The patterned field. I don't really like the name, the portentous domain. I'm not a huge fan of the name of the world, but I really like the dwarven translation of it. Madun Gadun. Madun Gadun. That's a really good name. Too many fruit trees? Fair. I mean, talk to Cupo about how Dwarf Fortress generates rivers. With all the right angles. Oh shit, there's another volcano in the middle of all this. I've definitely had something of pregnancy before in World Gen. I once had a the Plains of Lust, and it was heavily populated by elves, and they worshipped the god of birth, which was interesting and twisting, to say the least. Wish you could customize the type of weapon and armor beyond just shield and sword. I mean, you can make them take 2 shields. But what do you mean by customize? I mean, I've seen people with dwarves that are dual wielding whips. Like, what exactly do you want to customize, I guess? It's a pity that whole name doesn't just run together Impaled, because like that would be a really good name. The Plains of Wind and Realm of Portents. Hello, Keytrax.
Hello, blind and chatty people.
Welcome to a World Generation stream. Yay! Hi, what's up? How's things? I really like the way this area looks, though. This is a really fucking badass region. I love the way this area looks. I've actually had people ask me to put more World Generation videos up on YouTube. The problem was we spent about 2 hours generating a world, and then the game crashed. Sad face. It's 4 p.m. is like is almost appropriate drinking hour. Appropriate drinking hour is what? 4:30, I think. Yes, we're generating a world with longer history. We hit 550 years, and the second we hit 550 years, which was the end of it, the game crashed. So clearly, not all of the world gen bugs are fixed because this is the new version. That, or of course, the fun bit about fixing bugs is you add in new ones. Yay! New bugs, new memes, new problems. I mean, you would do better not having a single can of Budweiser because it's Budweiser. Budweiser is an active negative on society. Doesn't do to benefit and doesn't benefit anything or anybody aside from just tasting bad. You can't even fathom how to start out a world gen algorithm. Have you picked into? Have you looked at Ultima Ratio Regum at all? Because Ultima Ratio Regum has some crazy shit. I would rather just not drink beer than drink a low-quality beer. I mean, that to me that read like predictive text more than anything, Magnum. But yeah, it's Fathom, not Phantom. Hello, Northstat. How is we? We are generating worlds. See, I love little details like this right here. There's just those dwarven fortresses spawned and then a necromancer tower popped up in the middle. Also, I appreciate this screenshot because, or this shot, because we have this large area right here, which is very haunted and evil. And then over here we have this good biome next to this mountain. Which means those elves are going to have a lot of fun animals for trading. How's it going? Pretty good, Board to Beers. Pretty good. We're just generating a world. And today's mostly going to be world exploration stuff. And then we'll actually do a fort in this world tomorrow. So today we're just going to be doing legends, maybe a adventurer or two, and just exploring the world and reading about the world. I mean, fried chicken is better than fried chicken. I mean, come on. All of the quality typos today. Well, we did generate 550 years. That's what it's set to generate. Well, it crashed on year 550. So, hopefully it doesn't crash again. I think for dinner tonight, I'm having salmon again. Salmon and potatoes. Salmon and taters. I yesterday had salmon and baked potatoes, and today I think I'm gonna make fries. I've been like craving pub food recently, so I've been making like healthy pub food at home. So I've had like pan fried. I've been eating like pan fried broccoli, baked carrots. Homemade hand-cut fries. It's very tasty. Yeah, the key to making good fried chicken is befriending the chicken first and giving it a false sense of security. So that when you murder it, like stress courses through its veins and it hates its life. And it pleads for death. Because not only did you murder that chicken, but you murdered it after befriending it. The ultimate meal is one that you knew while it was living. Looking forward to my fish tonight, though. So somebody's just like commenting on one of my videos. He's just like, I think you misinterpreted this, and then wrote it down the exact way I interpreted it. I'm like, what? I don't understand the point of this. Have a good lunch date. Just make sure it's a lunch date, not a launch date, because getting launched out of anything is bad. It's not going to help. Port appears because they need faster clock speeds than CPUs. It's all CPU clock speeds. It's got nothing to do with the size of the computer. And also, it wouldn't go red. The server farm wouldn't even notice. It's probably still full of bugs. Is this a VCV rack type deal? Have you looked at VCV rack? Or are you trying to make like an equivalent? Stick it up on Discord and self-promote and plop it in the chat and I'll look at it later. Sure, but it still wouldn't make the generation any quicker or any better. I already have potentially one of the best CPUs for this because of how fast my clock speed is. The blue is mostly ice. Well, all of this blue is glacier. like all this stuff in the middle. Up here on the right, that's a good biome, and those are little streams. Hello, LaFonda. How's things? Sure, I know, I realize you're just being silly, but the thing is, people read jokes like that about Dwarf Fortress, take it as fact, and then tell other people that. Yeah, I just maybe think it before, like what's the word I'm looking for here? I don't want to shoot down your desire, but VCV rack is already really fucking good. So if you're trying to make something like that, because VCV has like, there is a module you can buy for Eurorack that literally just plugs straight into VCV rack, so you can have a half virtual Eurorack if you want. Yeah, so that's all it is. Like, I realize you're being silly, Bored to Beers, and I can read the sarcasm, but I for me need to state that no, and it won't be in early access on Steam. It's a full release. It literally is not early access on the Steam page for DF. Not early access. There's no early access here. This is a full release. It's gonna be a full release. Oh, that's a new one. Tactical RPG. I don't recall that being a tag. I think this is missing a bunch of tags. 2D. Technically, it should be 3D, but whatever. Pixel graphics, single player, tactical RPG, city builder, colony sim, base building, management, open world, survival, difficult RPG strategy, procedural generation, simulation, moddable, resource management. Someone should add traditional. Applied to put traditional roguelike on DF, just to annoy people. Although, how you doing, Pinback? Hope you're doing well. But yeah, no, plan for tonight then is Ultimate ADOM this evening and excuse me. And Legends and World Generation today. Yes, if they're red. Volcanoes are red. If I pause the World Gen, which I should probably do. I think I'm going to go for about year 350 and then pause it. And that's where we'll set up. There we go. So let's spot, ooh, another good biome. Spot me a volcano. I'm going to show you a volcano. Here's a volcano. That's a volcano right there. And then when you're actually embarking, there will be a red patch on the little minimap. Nothing has changed about my mic. I haven't changed a single microphone setting in about 6 months. But yeah, no, all of this is, this right here is a volcano. Yeah, maybe you changed something on your audio. But thank you. Glad the microphone sounds really good today. Getting compliments about my audio is like the nicest thing you can say to me. It's the only thing that really has quality in my stream. The red wavy things are, blue wavy is water, red wavy is red sand desert, yellow wavy is yellow sand desert, gray wavy is gray sand or black sand desert, white wavy is white sand desert or snow, and purple wavy, like this right here, purple wavy, my favorite band, is Hunted Desert. Shoutouts to Purple and the Wavy. Reticent Merc. I'm going to start working on a new document for Dave Forts. Just going to clone this. Make a copy. And we'll call this Season 2. I'm gonna reset all of the goal ideas because we're gonna do the same goals again. And I'm editing it. So the name of this world is The Portentous Domain. I can clear the legends section. Of course, the all of the previous stuff, all of the old stuff will still be in the old doc. So to those of you looking at the old doc, nothing in that is changing. In fact, up on my Google Drive, the most recent world saves are uploaded to the old version. So if you want to go look at the old community world, you can. But I'm working on this on my end over here while the world generates in the background. And I'm going to do a much better job keeping track of everything this time, I think. Or I'm going to do my best to do a better job of keeping track of everything this time. Do you have a phone? I was going to say, phones are very easy to work for FaceTime calls if you need to keep in contact. I kind of lost track of chat. What are we talking about? But webcams are very cheap, especially now that they're all back in stock. So you could easily get that stuff set up. I'm going to grab a Google link shortener. And, wait, did Google get rid of their link shortener? Apparently they did. So now they have something called Firebase Dynamic Links. Nani? But I don't want to use another goddamn app. All right, I need a different link shortener. I didn't know that Google shut down their link shortener. That sucks. Does anybody know any good URLs? I mean, Bitly still works. I mean, I could use TinyURL. I just prefer the Google ones. But apparently they got rid of it. The world, aside from the world breaking and the game crashing, no. I'm doing some stuff in the background right now. So this right here is the document from the previous season of Dayfort's Stanks. So currently, I might as well give the pitch. We're generating a world for Dayforts. Dayforts is a series that I do on Twitch and YouTube, where every Saturday, technically, although we're going to do the actual fort on Sunday this week because we're generating a new world and starting a new season. Every Saturday, I do a one-shot fort, so I come up with a theme, embark, and then build a fort, and then abandon it in one stream. Because it's the polar opposite of what I'm normally doing. My normal fort is I'm trying to keep it alive for 1,000 years. So I'm literally just keeping a fortress running for 1,000 years in game time, which is taking a very long time and probably going to take me another 1,000-something hours to complete. But this is kind of like the polar opposite of that, to like change things up and keep things interesting. And this, because a new version of Dwarf Fortress just came out the other day on Thursday, we are starting a new season. And essentially what I do is I do a really good job, or try to do a really good job, documenting everything in a Google Doc in the background so people can follow along, help me find stories. You guys can download this world that I'm generating. I will make this world available for you if you would like to download it and have some fun. And that's... So currently in the background, I'm preparing a Google Doc for the new world. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go through Legends and explore as much of the world's history as possible. I am basically setting this up so that you guys can easily follow along in the background. Yeah. Anyone with this link can view. Copy link. Stick this into tiny URL. Copy to clipboard. Season 2. That's right. And then Season 1. Share. Anyone with the link can view. Copy. Done. Make a new tiny URL. Copy to clipboard. And I've updated the command. Exclamation point Dayfort. Can someone try that, please? 47 minutes until that's available again. Then, apparently. Because you just missed it. So yeah, there's the new command. So, yeah. Season 2 command is now up, which is this world. So I'm going to see if I can do a better job than the last season documenting everything. Yeah. All right, we're almost at year 350. We're at year 347. I think I'm going to try and stop it on 350. 348. 349. And pause. Pause. Oof, there we go. Sweet. 351. Fine. We'll roll with it. What do you guys think? Should we roll with that? As the Dayfort's World Season 2? I'm seeing a lot of purple. Yo, that's evil zone right there. Fucking cool looking, but evil as hell. Like a fucking calamity and a half happened in here. Look at this. All of those destroyed forts. Plenty of stuff to re-embark on. At least in that center bit, yeah, so many necro towers. I love this human enclave. Just surrounded, like absolutely surrounded by monasteries. This is probably my favorite region though. This little corner of the map I'm very happy the dwarves didn't get wiped out. Because there's a few necro towers over here. Tons of destroyed goblin outposts right there. All of these dwarven helixes and forts up here. All the way up into the mountain home. There's this, what looks like a lake in the middle of that. Or is that a good? That's a good desert. The Dune of Singing. That's a good desert. That's really fucking cool, actually. And then, like, these dwarven forts right here, like, fighting back this tower. Oh, this is badass. I love the way this human civ here formed. Like, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 tombs. And then just this beautiful glacier. Like, this is, like, a Scandinavian village down here. I mean, Twitter doesn't support that. You mean what, like TweetDeck? I don't use multiple Discord accounts, so can't say that I wish that. But that's a personal thing. Also, there's this area, this lovely field of land of ours. Multiple spooky biomes. I love this southern region, this southern cold region. Ooh, evil tundra. This very, like, isolated. There's something that I adore. I adore about isolated elven civilizations. They just look so cool. Nerd IRL? Yeah, guilty as charged. That's why I'm single, man. Too real. Meanwhile, this elven civ, like, almost completely abolished. Yeah, lots of mainland volcanoes, too. This area turned into a clusterfuck. Holy hell. It's a mess down here. A lot of very, like, borderline apocalyptic areas, but... How am I doing? I was doing just fine, and then you came in and called me a nerd, and I'm doing slightly worse. I'm fine. Doing all right. Had a pretty good day off. Yeah, like, speaking of isolated elven civs, check out this. The tender continent of the closed swamps. It's elven North Korea. Truth hurts? My body hurts. I don't need truth. I also like these areas. This area down here is pretty cool. It's mostly humans, but then there's just like a necromancer tower in the middle of it. I should enslave that continent. I could move in there and invade people, but because of the way I'm going to be playing this world, I won't have time. Unless I want to stream for 200 hours straight. The Ocean of Laboring. All right, well, let's use the world as it currently exists. And it didn't crash this time. Huzzah! The portentous domain. Sounds like a good idea to, or like a good way to kill this streamer. And let's accept it. No crash. Huzzah! So what have you been up to, Zycron? I've just been hiding over here in my corner of Twitch that nobody knows exists. It's cozy, warm, and we have coffee. So. I'm just waiting for the world to save, going, is it actually gonna save?